I'm Tom, one of the wellbeing coaches at Isorropia. I'd like to talk a bit about grounding. Grounding can help us manage our feelings when we're faced with overwhelming emotions or intense anxiety. Grounding is a helpful tool if you feel you're beginning to get a little disconnected from reality. These skills work by reconnecting you with the present, by engaging with the five senses to retrieve a feeling of control and safety. With time and practice, it can provide skills to help break the cycle of feeling overwhelmed. As with most self-help tools, you'll find they work better the more you revisit them. This particular mental health self-help technique has proven in academic and medical studies to work really well. You might think that some of the skills seem rather simplistic or obvious. Please don't be put off. I'm going to briefly look at some of the various techniques people use to ground themselves. I should say that while not all techniques work for every individual, by experimenting with a few options, you should find what works for you personally, and this only comes with practice. So firstly, techniques for grounding your thinking. You can describe your current surroundings, or explain to yourself what you're currently doing. You could try naming all the films of a famous actor, or all the music of a famous music star. Name some animals in alphabetical order. Ideally, these kind of exercises are done out loud, but you might not want to in a public place. Or simply focus on taking 10 deep breaths. Secondly, these are the physical grounding techniques. You can simply sit or stand more upright. Or you could touch and then describe objects around you. There's a technique where you push your feet into the floor and really feel it. People like to do this with their heels, really into the floor, so they really feel the sensation. You could try eating a food with a strong taste, maybe something like a peppermint. You can try putting your hands into a sink of cold water and feeling those sensations. Some people go the other way and hold a cup of tea, but then really feel its warmth. You can stretch out the part of you that's starting to feel tense. Personally, I find I hold a lot of tension in my shoulders, so if I raise the shoulders up to feel the stretch and then relax them down, for me, that can be a grounding technique. Thirdly, self-soothing grounding. These are things like bringing to mind the people, or perhaps in your case, pets, who are positive in your life. You can carry a photo or a reminder of a person you're fond of. You can picture yourself in a safe place in your mind's eye. Or simply remind yourself that it's okay to relax. There's another technique, and it's called the 5-4-3-2-1 grounding technique. It goes a bit like this. First you name 5 things you can see, then you name 4 things you can hear, then you name 3 things you can touch, then you name 2 things either you can smell or taste, and then 1 is take 1 deep breath and slowly breathe out. Another technique some people like to use is called the small object grounding technique, and that's where you can use a small object to ground yourself. This could either be something like a small pebble, maybe a marble, a gemstone, like a crystal, something like that, maybe a small piece of fabric, item of jewellery, just something small, but if it's important to you, that's ideal. First you describe it to yourself in detail, and then you can keep it in your pocket so you can just touch it and hold on to it should you need to. When you hold on to it, notice, does it feel warm? Is it cold? Is it rough? Is it smooth? Small object grounding is a valuable skill to have, since it can be very easy to keep the item close by just for when it's needed. You can then focus all your positive energy onto your chosen object to draw upon it when you need it most. And that's the end of my whistle-stop tour of grounding. Try out a few techniques and see what works for you, and then you can practice the ones that really chime with you personally. That's about all, so have a great day from all at Isorropia.